Hi there, I'm Krista with Live Full Soap, and today we have a nice sunny day here in Nelson. We've had rain and storms like most of British Columbia, but thankfully no flooding here that I'm aware of. But today we have a beautiful sunshiny day, and I thought I'd just take the opportunity to be outside and share a little bit about chickweed, which is a spring herb that grows early in the spring, sometimes even starts blooming and growing when we still have snow. And then it dies down in the summer as it gets hot. It's a plant that doesn't like the heat, but then in the fall, when the temperatures cool off again, chickweed starts to flourish. And so I have a little patch of chickweed in my front yard, kind of under a little wooded area. It likes growing in shady places, and so I've got a nice little wooded patch at the front, and there's a great big patch of chickweed there. And so this is where I harvested chickweed in the spring for making chickweed and wild violet soap, and then now it's flourishing again. I was just able to make a new batch of chickweed and wild violet soap this week, and I thought I'd just take the time to tell you about chickweed. So I'm just going to turn the camera around so that you can get a look at this plant. It grows low to the ground, kind of forms like a little mat over the ground. Each individual plant is only about 6 to 10 inches long, but it grows in a big mat like this, so it kind of covers the ground. And it's a lovely green color. It's a very tender herb, very, very easy to pick. You can see it just kind of breaks really simply, like really breaks off easily. And it's delicious. It's got a mild taste. My family used chickweed this spring to make pesto, and we really enjoyed that. And of course I made the soap, and I brought the newest batch of chickweed and wild violet soap out to show you. You can see the beautiful green color, which comes from olive oil infused with chickweeds, and then there's a little bit of spirulina in there as well, but the main color is actually from the chickweed itself. And then this plant gets beautiful little white flowers on it, but you can see the flowers they're just about to come. Here's a flower just about to open, but they're not open yet, so I can't really show you them in too much detail. But chickweed is a plant that is used in skincare, which obviously I use it in skincare with the chickweed and wild violet soap. I also made a chickweed salve with it. It's very soothing and gentle to the skin. It's got lots of vitamin C in it, and it can be really good for problematic skin. It's really soothing is a good word for it. It's also good internally, so as I said, it has a mild flavor for pesto or eating just in your salad, but also it's used as a medicinal herb. So people would use chickweed to treat inflammation, things like arthritis and stuff like that, or also for stomach issues. It helps get things moving along in your system, and so you can always Google about how to use chickweed medicinally, or you can just eat it like me and my kids like to do. And I also wanted to share with you, in learning about chickweed, we were super excited to discover this patch in our front yard because it had been a plant we'd been looking for a while and we hadn't found. Then we moved into our new house about a year ago, and we found chickweed, and we were super excited. And we also got this neat little book from Learning Herbs website, and this, if I turn it around you can have a better look, sorry. It's in the Herb Fairies series, and it's called Stellaria's Big Find. So Stellaria media is the name of chickweed, the Latin name. You can see actually what the flowers look like there. They actually are 5-petaled, but the petals are so deeply divided they look like 10, and they're like little stars, so that's why it comes from the Latin for star. And this little book was really fun to read with my kids. It has some nice colored pictures. And the story is about, you can see that little troll there. She has some skin conditions, and the children in the book have to discover the magic of the herb in order to help with the skin conditions that the troll faces. So it's a super cute little book, but it was also really neat for us to learn about how can we use the plants that are growing around us to help our family. So like I told you, we made pesto with chickweed. We picked a bunch, ground it up, added some olive oil and Parmesan cheese and garlic, and can't remember the rest of the recipe, but it was good, and it was good for us too. And then you can also make tea and tinctures and other things if you want to, or if you're like me, you can make soap, which I was just gonna show you again. There's the chickweed and wild violet soap, which is made with olive oil infused with the chickweed herb there. So if you have any questions, I'd love to hear them. But otherwise, thank you so much for joining me on this little live video to learn about chickweed. I forgot that I was going to show you how to identify it. Sorry, I'm just going to pick a piece here. So it has, when you're looking for chickweed, you would look for those little white flowers, that low growing, close to the ground, very tender, very simple to pick. It also has kind of a little mohawk on one side, and I don't think you're going to be able to see that in the video, but it has a tiny little mohawk of hairs growing on one side of it. So that's a good way to help you identify it as well. And it doesn't have any kind of milky sap. So if I crush it, it's not at all milky inside. So if you find a plant that has a milky sap, that's not chickweed. And then also look for those beautiful little white 5-petaled flowers. And thank you so much for joining me. And I'd love to see any comments or questions that you have. And hope you have a great day. And I hope it's sunny where you are as well. Thank you. Bye.